Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have a double feature in the Montana. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Spartan, come on, how many videos are you going to post on the Montana in the first week of owning it? Yes, the answer is yes. I haven't enjoyed playing this game this much in a very long time, okay? This ship and I get one another. We are a symbiotic relationship, okay? We bounce off of one another. We know exactly what we can expect from one another, and it's just a beautiful thing. Now, with that being said, this first match of our double feature, by the way, is a match that I like to call an unlikely ally. And the reason being is we are going to get some support from the most unlikely of targets on or unlikely of friends on our team. And I gotta say, I wasn't expecting it, but I've got to give huge props to the guy, and we will once it gets there. So first things first, we're on Land of Fire. We're going to push over to the right. You know I don't like to sit in the middle of this map because it tends to get me focused by everybody on the map. So on this map, I like to choose a side. Okay, if I spawn mid, I go right or left, doesn't matter which way. I usually look for the side that looks the weakest, and that's the side I go to support. Okay? That's what I'd look for. So, given the fact we spawn in, and there's a destroyer and a cruiser on the right side, I figure let's go help the right side. And that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is going to be a frustrating start because we do look at a Cleveland, but of course by the time we get our guns over there, he disappears. And now, people are going to be able to shoot us from the middle of the map. And fortunately for us, we angle out. This is something I do every time. I don't ever just turn and sail in a straight line at the beginning. I turn all the way to where I'm angled away from people. That way, those people that do shoot at us, generally speaking, they miss. Now, obviously, we got a couple of Minotaurs here in the middle of the map. Not really got a shot. We're going to probably think about taking a shot, but we don't have a shot. Our destroyer's moving up into the capture zone on Charlie, so that's always good. And the enemy Shima gets spotted. Now we take this shot. Should have led this guy more. We knew he was going to speed up, and unfortunately he's going to get away without getting blapped, which is real unfortunate. And this is going to come back to bite us in the future. But it is what it is. At least we took a shot at him, you know what I'm saying? We try to help our buddy out, who's actually doing a good job in the cap. He's going in, he's trying to grab the cap, he contests, he gets rid of the enemy destroyer, at least makes him back off. Our Alaska, unfortunately, is just getting torn apart by the two Minos in the middle and the Cleveland over here on the right side. Now, speaking of Minos, this guy comes out and he is just getting blapped. So we go ahead, we take a shot at him, expecting him to not just sit where he stops, but to also reverse slightly. And unfortunately for me, there's a common thing. Always assume that or at least I always assume that the person that I'm up against has a brain, okay? And more often than not, that's just not the case. They don't have a brain. They don't do things on the same schedule that a good player does. Like when... This is something that a lot of people have said a lot of times, and it's very true. The hardest people to predict are people that are dumb. Okay? They are the absolute worst people to try to predict. Now, this Cleveland just completely screws the pooch. He gets himself obliterated by our Shimakaze, so you gotta love that. Anytime a Shima can get rid of a freaking radar cruiser on his own, huge. But we're going to try to push up. Our Shima is going to make the dumbest play possible. This is the thing. You can go from hero to zero very quickly in this game. Okay? And Macbeth up there, he's going to do exactly that. He's going to go from, okay, I torped a Cleveland, I captured the Charlie Cap, and now I'm going to leave my teammate in the giant battleship all by himself to try to capture a Bravo Cap. Now, I have no problem with him trying to capture the Bravo Cap. I have a problem with him trying to capture a Bravo Cap that has two Minos right next to it. Like, what do you think's going to happen? Meanwhile, I'm over here in my Montana going, guys, you're leaving the Shima to just absolutely annihilate me. Now, I'm no stranger to being by myself, okay? I've been alone for a very long time. I do a lot of solo play, guys. I don't generally... Ooh, hello. Hi, Mino. But let's hope he doesn't notice. Wait for it. It looks solid. It looks good. And... yeah, I'd say that was a pretty good shot. Fortunately for that Mino, he gets to live long enough to get a heal and do some other things. But in 8 seconds, I get to do it to him again. Anyone want to take a guess as to how that... aww. Don't tell me he's going to disappear and not actually get spotted again. You can't do that to me. Come on, game. Now, obviously, I am pushing up closer to a Shimakaze. This is probably not what you would call a good... oh, hello, Mino. Welcome back. Well, we take a nice quick shot here, and...
torpedoes, direct front.
we've got to dodge torpedoes. Come on, turn in! Turn in! We're good. But we took everything from that Mino, and that Mino has no health left. Our secondaries are shooting at the Shima, and we get turned in and dodge the other torps. This is why I go with steering gears, fellas. Just keep that in mind. This is exactly why I go with steering gears. Now, he does get us with 1 torpedo, but considering he had 15 of them sent our direction, I'll take that. Now, obviously, we lost our crew, or we lost our Shima to that Mino that we took all the health from, because of course we did. I mean, it is a frickin' Mino, and you're in a Shima. What do you think's gonna happen? But our Alaska that's in mid, I think it's an Alaska that's left, should be able to finish that guy off as we take the rear guns at him and we blap him and leave him alive. Oh, but this is it. This is the kill, right, guys? Right? He shifts left. I aim to the left and he somehow doesn't get hit. I don't understand how I missed that shot. I really don't. That shot baffled me. And it was at this moment I knew that I would never see that man again. But I would see his torpedoes frequently. Now, the good news is, the Mino that we blapped twice is dead. Bad news is, we are now broadside to a Mino who has a vengeance clause against us. And there's a frickin' Shima out here. Now, I don't want to, like, brag too much, but I do need to get a little bit of help from a friend, you know what I'm saying? It does come in handy sometimes. You can see, I'm going to be calling for support. And I'm going to be asking specifically for one particular person's support, and that is the carrier. Why am I asking? Oh my god. Hello, Yami. That's a fancy looking broadside you got there. We take the shot. We've only got 69,000 damage. I mean, right? Great number. But we take the shot. We get 4 full penetrations, 2 overpins, and no actual citadels. And that's one of the downsides of this thing. It does seem a little wonky when attacking the broadside of a Yami at any sort of medium to long range. Like, it's not consistently going to blap the Yami. But unfortunately, we do manage to, or I should say fortunately, we do manage to spot this Mino as he comes through the gap. He gets touched by the friendly in the middle. We take the shot at him, and unfortunately, our shots all miss. He's able to get behind that island just a little quicker than I was expecting. Now, obviously, we're trying to get our big booty moving, because sitting still, waiting for a Yami to come ruin your life, or a Shima to come ruin your life, not exactly a good time. Okay, so we got to get moving. We can't just sit here and wait. But, notice the bombers overhead. Our call has been answered. Our call for help has been answered, folks. We have a good carrier player that's willing to pay attention and support a teammate that needs his help. What is the odds of this? Somebody please tell me. I don't know what the odds are. It's ridiculous. But this man is an absolute goat. And any time that I get these kinds of friends on my teams that make these kinds of plays, completely selfless, I like to call them out. Now, everybody knows me as the salty Spartan. Everybody knows that I like to call out bullcrap when I see it. But nobody ever says, well, Spartan's also the guy that when a guy comes across the map to help him with a freaking carrier, this guy will absolutely call him out and say, GG, dude. You get the coveted POB, which is the pat on the back. Okay? So, thank you to the carrier for coming over and being an absolute legend. Because he goes out, he spots the Shima, we get the shot out, and we absolutely reward this man with a beautiful shot. And thank you, carrier, for real. Thank you for being an absolute homie. This never happens to me, ever. So when it does, I call it out. Just like I call out all the stupid stuff that I do. Well, that's a bold strategy. What do you think's gonna happen here, Mino? Like, I hate to tell you, but this is not gonna end in your favor. Bonk. Like, what? I don't understand it either, folks. I really don't. But, yeah. He manages to reset us, which is unfortunate. We could stay in the base and capture it, but honestly, I don't remember that we do. I think we just kind of sail out of this. Now, this could be an absolute boneheaded move. The right play here is to stay in the base and capture. We need to make sure that we get this base cap. That guarantees us the win in worst case scenario that we have to have, you know, the carrier survive or something. But Implacable here gets spotted, and I know there's some people who are like, it's not impeccable, it's implacable. You gotta do it with a British accent. It's implacable. But screw it. We get the shot. The Implacable is actually going really, really slowly. I recognize that I'm about to sail out of the base like a doofus. I'm trying to stop. I really am. But unfortunately, it's just not going to be in the cards. And we potato out of the base with 3 seconds left. 3 freaking seconds left. And we potatoed out of the cap. But good news is we get another shot out on that freaking Implacable. We get 1 gun left to shoot at the Yami's flat broadside. I mean, you can't get much more broadside than this. We do Citadel the Implacable, which leaves me to believe he doesn't have a whole lot left. And we get a good shot into this Yami. Now, the Yami is playing. We've seen him moving. I don't know what he's doing, but he's definitely playing. And that leaves just the Yami left. The team manages to clean up the other side, finish off that freaking Implacable. We're getting a, oh my god, railguns. Railguns, and yeah. Down he goes. Giving us our high caliber. Finishing with a double Citadel on the Yami. You gotta love it. But, 169,000 damage done. Well done to the carrier once again. Thank you so much, Blue Eyes Chaos, or Blue Eyes Chose. Blue Eyes Chose? Yeah, we'll go with that. Shokaku, you're an absolute legend. Much appreciated. Now, on to North, and the next match, which is called Hostage. Don't be that guy, okay? Now, obviously, we're not going to say who's the hostage, who's keeping who hostage in this one. Is it our team holding the other team hostage? Either way, if you're the last man alive, and there's 8 minutes left in a match, and you have absolutely no hope of winning the match, just end the freaking crap already. Quit holding everybody hostage. You're not that guy.
Thank you.
Very few people can pull off a 1v6, okay? It's not gonna happen. Even if you're in a destroyer. But there's a few things that we're going to point out late in the match that I'll go over. But we're going to push straight into the right cap. We're in Alpha. We're going to go at right ahead. Now, our Alaska's going to go with us, and our Odin's going to go with us. And honestly, it does leave you to wonder some things about people when they do the things they do. And we'll point those out. But right off the bat, I'm looking at the minimap, and I've got a broadside shot. Obviously, I can't see the guy, so we have to use the auto-aim, and pray to God that the auto-aim is actually correct for once. And unfortunately, it's just not the case. We actually completely miss him. Big surprise. Taking a blind shot over the mountain. I mean, it was a no-risk, high-reward sort of scenario. But we've got Grossa Kurfurst directly out in front of us. We have an Alaska to our left. Our Alaska is completely naked, so it's probably an Alaska R. I don't know why the Alaska folks or the rental folks never seem to run a camo on their ships. I don't understand it, but whatever. To each their own. We take a shot at the Yami. Gonna get a little bit of damage here, not a lot. 12,000 damage salvo, not bad. But we're gonna push in. You can see that there are torpedoes spotted right across our bow. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but both the Alaska and the Odin have the ability to run a sonar. And the Alaska also has a freaking radar, okay? Now, we're trying to turn out. We're trying to tuck our rear end in. We've got a beautiful broadside look at this freaking Grossa Kurfurst. We do manage to take one torpedo, unfortunately not able to get out of the way, but clapping this man for 25,000 damage. 7 full penetrations. That man just got touched. And we ain't done yet. This man is like, anything I can do once, I can do twice. I'll stay broadside. What could go wrong? He's not gonna hit me twice. Surely, he can't hit me twice. Well, you're wrong, Sunshine. I can definitely hit you twice, and anything I can do once, I can do better the second time. Wait for it. Yep, there's another solid hit. Not quite as good. 5 full penetrations, 4 overpens. That's right, we hit 9 out of 12 shells on the broadside of that man. Now, obviously, we know there's a destroyer here. The fact that we have a radar cruiser right here and he doesn't actually use his radar is baffling to me. But again, he's in a freaking ship that doesn't have a camo, so what can you expect? So I've got to be on point. I'm slowing down. I'm trying to maintain shots on this Gross Kurfurst, and we finally get rid of him. 3-shotting a Gross Kurfurst never feels so good. You know what I'm saying? It always feels good. Kagero out to our right is launching torpedoes, and of course the guys that have the ability to dodge manage to catch the torpedoes. He gets 1 there, and I'm fairly confident he already took 1 torpedo from the first set. We get a shot on this Yami. We're going to start to turn in, try to get away from this freaking Kagero. And again, radar cruiser running away from the torpedo threat. The one guy that has the easiest time spotting the torpedo threat is running away from the torpedo threat. I'm going to try to turn in and get away from this Kagero, but this Odin is going to slow down and kind of get right in my way. Now remember, I don't have maneuverability, okay? I am a gigantic ship that is not known for being agile, okay? So you have to, as the smaller ship, you are the more agile ship, and down goes our Alaska. Who could have thunk? Going out and going broadside to a Massachusetts, Stalingrad, and a Yami, probably not the best choice of, ways to play the game. We do manage to get this base cap. This time I'm going to slow down and turn in to try to get behind this freaking Odin. I need to get away from this man. This man is going to get me killed. And we got a nice big gap. Thank God for widespread torpedoes, am I right? Like, there is no better sign of a bad destroyer player than widespread torpedoes. So thank you for sending widespread torpedoes. I almost never use them personally, but neither does any other decent player. Now, we are going to get the worst RNG I have ever seen trying to finish off this Yamato. Like, the Montana is generally pretty freaking consistent. But for whatever reason, this Yami refuses to freaking die, and he's going to get a heal off. Everything's going to go horribly. Now, remember, the Yami does not have the same issue that the American battleships and the German battleships have. The Yami does not have a superstructure that has like 50 million hit points in it, okay? It actually gets damage saturated. So finishing off a Yami that's low health that already has a damage saturated superstructure is a pain in the freaking junk. And he's wiggling just enough that he's not able to be smacked. Like, we're trying to go for the superstructure, but it's just not happening. You can see Odin kind of tickles his superstructure a little bit. We've got a broadside, or we've got a Balti pushing in on us. We're trying to get away from the cruiser, or get away from the destroyer. We're going broadside to a Yami, which is never a good thing. He blaps us. The Massachusetts blaps us. Everything's going horribly, and we finally get the shot we were looking for to get rid of the freaking Yami. That's huge. Now, we're going to go around. We're going to go bow in on this Balti. I had a feeling that this Balti was going to try to ram me here. There's really not a whole lot this man can do other than pray to God that I don't blap him out of existence. And unfortunately, that prayer goes unanswered as we blap him out of existence. 5 full penetrations, 2 citadels through the bow. Dude had no chance. Now, we get angled against the Massachusetts. That was the good thing about going bow in towards the Balti. We get angled relatively well against the Massachusetts. He's not going to be able to do much to us except shoot our superstructure and get a fire on us because secondary Massachusetts, am I right? But, yeah, we're going to get a good shot here, and this Massachusetts is just not ready for this. He's just not ready for it. Obviously, we're aiming, trying to go for that superstructure on the first shot, and then we hope he angles in a little, or angles out a little bit. He gets a couple of hits on us, not too bad. We get a pretty good result, and he actually ends up getting finished off by our Gross Kurfurst. And now we're looking at a broadside of a Tirpitz at 8.6 kilometers. Okay, now remember this. It's a Tirpitz at 8.6 kilometers. This is not generally the range that you would expect citadels, considering he has turtleback armor. However, You know, if you throw enough shells at the problem, sometimes they find interesting locations to hit. And we take the shot, and we absolutely citadel him and take 38,000 damage off of that man and just ruin his entire existence. And that leaves us with 198,000 damage done, 3 kills, and the Kagero decides to give himself up here. Now, at the moment, I was like, good. We can blap this man out of existence too, because I have one-shotted destroyers with AP from my Kansas and my Montana. But unfortunately, something weird happens with my aim as I go to shoot this man. It kind of like freaks out and screws my aim all up. And that's unfortunate, because that man should have died right there. Now remember, this is a 1 versus 5. He is running directly at a freaking Gearing. He is spotted currently. And we have a shot at him. He has less than 10,000 hit points left. He has probably about 8,000 hit points. We get a shot off, and we are not going to miss this time. In fact, we're going to blap the crap out of him and hit him for over 5,000 damage in that shot, leaving him with basically nothing. This Gearing should go straight at this man. Just straight at him. But unfortunately, he does not. He stays in the base. He captures the base. We're going to come in and try to help grab the base. And then we're going to spend the next 6 minutes trying to track down the location of this destroyer. And apparently, our Gearing does not have the ability to have twist and track and go right after the destroyer. And so, the bad thing is the destroyer doesn't even try to kill anybody for the next 6 minutes. It's not like he's launching torpedoes every time. Now, this guy over here in the battleship was calling for help, and we were detected for a moment, so we tried to come out thinking he was kind of heading back this direction, and that wasn't the case. He didn't actually come back across the front. He actually just ran straight out from the left side. We get all 3 bases, so we're going to try to limit the time as much as we can. But again, he's not actually trying to kill anybody. That's the worst part. Like, if he was still trying to kill people, I give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe he thinks he's that guy, even he's probably not. I mean, there's a Gearing still alive that could find him and kill him. There's the cruiser that's still alive that could find him and kill him. You know, there's lots of people that could potentially kill this man. But unfortunately, it's just not the case. And you can see we did have a shot come in over the island directly off our left side. So nobody was even close. But either way, don't be that guy. Don't hold a team hostage for 6 minutes and not even try to attack anything. Just don't. But 203,000 damage game in the Montana, all the things. Confederate High Cal, First Blood, Dev Strike, and a Dreadnought. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.